the smartest sports YouTuber, with another video. And in this video, we gotta talk about Joe Burrow severely outplaying Justin Herbert, the stat padding Hall of Famer. We have to talk about this. Back-to-back weeks, this week especially, just severely outplays him. 275 yards on 36 attempts, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers whatsoever. Meanwhile, you got Justin Herbert, 25 of 45, 297, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, and a lost fumble. Justin Herbert, this is what he does. In Justin Herbert's bad games, this is back-to-back weeks, he's been pathetic. He's been awful. He's cost his team back-to-back games. He's supposed to have the most talented roster in the league, and he's 1-2. And this is what he does. Back-to-back weeks, he cost his team the game. He's in garbage time. He's already down by 28 with 2 minutes left. What's the excuse for this? 28 with 2 minutes left. You're down 28 with 2 minutes left, so don't tell me about injury. Down 28, 2 minutes left, and you're throwing the ball. You get over 50 yards on the last drive. See, that's why you don't just look at numbers, okay? You got to put things into context. And Justin Herbert is a stat-padding machine. That's back-to-back weeks. Last week against the Chiefs, guess what he did? Last drive of the game when they're down by 2 scores, less than 2 minutes left, have no chance of winning. What does he do? Chiefs are playing prevent, stat padding, goes down 70 yards and a touchdown. So that's in 2 weeks, he has over 120 yards in garbage time, in stat padding, over 120 yards. Average of 60 yards a game off of just stat padding and a touchdown. That's why you don't just look at numbers. Justin Herbert was fucking pathetic. And that's why for the whole season, people say, oh, Justin Herbert's like top 5 in yards. Yeah, back-to-back weeks, he's stat padding once he loses his team the game. And that's what happens. He will stat pad. When he plays pathetic, he stat pads, so he makes his stats look like he had a better game than he did. And then sometimes he will have a good game to where it's not stat padding. So his numbers will just be super inflated and very misleading. And I knew that. I've been saying this. I've been calling him out on his bullshit because that's very selfish of Justin Herbert to stay in the game down 28 points, 2 minutes left, and you're still throwing the ball. That is selfish. If you're going to stay in the game, which you probably shouldn't even be in the game anyways, run the ball. But no, he wants his numbers. He wants to be selfish. He's a me-first type of a guy. So he's going to take whatever he can to make his stats look better and just play for himself. That's why he's not a winning player. He does not make winning plays. The Chiefs game, he lost it single-handedly. He was the biggest reason why they lost. Pick 6 when you're about to take the lead and you throw a pick 6 inside the 5-yard line. This week, he gives 10 points away on his defense. He turns the ball over short field, fumble. The defense holds him to a field goal, allows no yards, but obviously Justin Herbert fumbled in his own territory. They get a field goal. Then he throws an interception on his own side of the field. They get a touchdown. That's 10 points. And he only manages 10 points against the Jaguars. The Jags, the same team that Carson Wentz carved up for 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, and you're getting 10 points. 10 points. You're throwing the ball 45 times and can't even get over 300 yards or multiple touchdowns. That is fucking pathetic. That's actually pathetic. Joe Burrow severely outplays him, playing a better defense with more talent in the Jets. And Joe Burrow, guess what he does? He doesn't have to stat pad late. They have an 8-minute drive to end the game, just simply running the ball, killing clock. So Joe Burrow barely threw in the fourth quarter, so he doesn't really care about his stats. And people say, oh, what about the Ravens game? He stat padded. He threw 1 pass to Joe Mixon late in the game, and that's when they're a game they're actually winning and they're putting a statement against a division rival. This game, Justin Herbert's down by 28 points with 2 minutes left. There's no excuse you could give to explain that. 2 minutes left. Less than 2 minutes left. You're down by 28 points. You so-called have an injury. Get the fuck out of the game. But no, he wants his stats. So that's why stats are misleading. Now, a Justin Herbert fanboy would look at the stats and say, they won't mention the fumble either. They'll say, oh, well, he had 297 yards and a touchdown and 1 pick. I mean, it wasn't that good, but it wasn't bad. Yeah, watch the game. Justin Herbert was fucking pathetic in that game. It looks a lot different if he ends the game with 230-something yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, and a fumble, than 297 yards, and that's what he does. In his bad games, he stat pads at the end of a game that he loses for his team to make his stats look better, and then at the end of the season, when he has damn near 5,000 yards and his team misses the playoffs, people will be like, well, you can't blame Herbert because, look at his yards, look at his touchdowns. Oh, you can't blame him. He's good. It's the team. No, this is back-to-back weeks. Justin Herbert has caused his team to fall to 1-2. People made a big deal about the Bengals being 0-2. Now they're the same record as the Chargers, and the Chargers were supposed to have the most stacked team in the league coming into the season. And Justin Herbert has pulled them down to a 1-2 team. So don't give me that bullshit. Joe Burrow is by far better. Do not ever say Justin Herbert's top 5 and try to bring up yards as the reason why. When that's back-to-back weeks, he's stat padded at the end of the games. He's lost to get his numbers. And that's the thing that actually pisses me off. Justin Herbert fanboys will try to come at me, call me biased, say I don't like him. No, I don't like what he does. I don't like the fact that he stat pads at the end of the game when you're down by 28 points, 2 minutes left, and you're still throwing the ball. So that way, it raises up his completion percentage. His completion percentage for the game was 55%. It was awful. On 45 attempts, it was awful. But guess what? It looked better than what it would have been. I'm pretty sure he was at less than 50% completion before the final drive when he was just dumping the ball down to Eckler. And guess what? One of the Chargers receivers got hurt at the end of the game. Is that worth it, Justin Herbert? Is it worth it to throw the ball and get one of your teammates hurt just so you can get your numbers? That's real selfish stuff from the quarterback position. I'm just glad my quarterback is not selfish like that, and he actually cares about winning, not just his numbers. That's why Justin Herbert's a losing player. That's why he has 0 playoff appearances with talented teams, 0 playoff wins, and he chokes at the end of the season. And it's just a constant thing. He chokes in one-score games. I've been telling you this, and people call me a hater, but now you're seeing it. Top roster in the league. He's 1-2. He's lost his team back-to-back games. One against the Chiefs where they had him. They were outplaying him, and Justin Herbert throws the game away. And one against the Jags where Justin Herbert just completely embarrasses himself and loses his team the game. That is fucking pathetic. Meanwhile, Joe Burrow out here back-to-back weeks, 0 turnovers. So people want to come out Joe Burrow for the turnovers. Week 1 was his only turnover game. Next 2 weeks, including the Cowboys, who are a turnover machine on defense, no turnovers. Outplaying Justin Herbert by. So I think even the biggest Justin Herbert fanboy and the biggest Joe Burrow hater can agree that Joe Burrow has outplayed Justin Herbert this season. People can bring up the numbers, but I know 2 weeks in a row, there's been 3 weeks this season, 2 weeks in a row, it's been clear that Joe Burrow has played better. Yes, even last week against the Cowboys, Joe Burrow played better. He didn't throw away, he actually led a game-tying drive and was clutch in the fourth quarter, played great in the fourth quarter. Meanwhile, Justin Herbert throws his team into a loss. Pick 6, fourth quarter. Justin Herbert is a pick 6 fourth quarter master. He has by far the most fourth quarter pick 6s since he's entered the league, and that's contributed to a lot of the Chargers' losses, and that's the reason why the Chargers didn't make the playoffs last season and his rookie season for that matter. I mean, rookie season he was 7-9 with a talented roster. And guess what he did in one-score games? Absolutely shit the bed. So he's cost his team the playoffs in his rookie year with mistakes. In his second year, he choked at the end of the season to the Texans and the Raiders. So Justin Herbert is liable for not making the playoffs. I mean, he needs to bear responsibility. For the people that just want to give him no responsibility and say, oh, well, it's his team. Like I said, I've already exposed that narrative. He gets stats in games where he plays like shit at the end of games when he already lost his team the game to make his stats look better. And then his fanboys get to say, see, he almost passed for 300 yards and a touchdown and a pick. It wasn't that bad. It was actually pretty good. When you watch the game, they scored 10 points for a reason. He was absolute dog shit, turned the ball over twice and scored 10 points. He had more turnovers than touchdowns, and he scored 10 points against the Jags. That's fucking pathetic. If you continue to defend this, then you're looking like a clown right now. I'm just gonna be real. That's what I am on this channel. I'm real. I bring all the facts, and if you don't like it, I don't know why you wouldn't. I'm literally just saying facts. Joe Burrow is better than Justin Herbert. Fact. Joe Burrow is accomplished more than Justin Herbert. Fact. Joe Burrow is playing better than Justin Herbert right now. Fact. He outplayed him by far this week. Fact. So it is what it is. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, keep coming back for more facts, more great content, and I just tell it the way it is. So yeah, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and you just listen to the smartest sports YouTuber on the planet. That's a fact, and I'm out.